Tonight, reclaiming the past and struggling with an uncertain future in Afghanistan. As old ways return to Kabul, the Northern Alliance fights on and answers concerns about ultimate control. The Ottawa summit targets terror and poverty while police defend their crackdown on protesters. And in focus, linking winter sun and disease, is a common vitamin the cure?
CTV News with Sandy Ronaldo.
Good evening. Tonight there is cautiously optimistic news to report on the future of Afghanistan. A growing number of factions have agreed to take part in UN-brokered talks on forming a new government. The Taliban is holding on to just 2 shrinking parts of the country. They're still in control of their southern stronghold of Kandahar, but it looks like they're losing their grip on the other northern city of Kunduz. CTV's Tom Kennedy files this report from the capital, Kabul.
The Americans have the luxury now of concentrating their attacks on what little is left of the Taliban. The northern city of Kunduz is the Taliban's last stronghold in the north, and it has been pounded heavily. It's believed 20,000 fighters are in there, surrounded by Northern Alliance troops and tanks. The end is imminent. And now the Taliban seem ready to surrender if their foreign fighters loyal to Osama bin Laden are given a guarantee of safety. Elsewhere in the country, the Taliban continue to surrender and to be captured. There are some reports of summary executions, but thousands of men are being imprisoned while the Northern Alliance decides what to do with them. In the meantime, in each area the Taliban falls, the people begin a lightning-quick return to the 21st century. For 5 years, television was banned. In 3 days, technicians got it up and running again. We have some news and entertainment programming now, a news anchor says. Sports and other programming is coming. People are digging old TVs out of storage and getting them fixed. The few people with money are buying new. And in a few days, there'll be another major event here. The local cinema. It too was sinful under the Taliban. It lies now almost in ruins, but the city hopes to have it open and running again within days. Looking around the capital, you can see the visual cues. Men who've shaved, women who expose their faces. The poverty is still extreme. It will take a long time for this country to recover. But right now, Afghanistan is going through a transition no less striking than when the Taliban first took power. The difference is that the change is unraveling repression instead of imposing it. But will it bring peace and stability? Afghanistan has known neither for decades, but a new perception of this country may help. For 5 years, it was considered a pariah state. Post-Taliban, it's considered a victim worthy of the world's help. It's no guarantee of success, but it's a start. Sandy.
Tom, on the military front, the stage is set for the final battle with the Taliban. What about the political front?
Well, the first thing is to come up with a viable government. Talks will be continuing in Kabul this week, and soon they may be moved to a neutral country, probably somewhere in Europe. And the second thing is money. You really have to be here to see what the terrible state of the entire infrastructure of this country. Some countries already are talking of a new Marshall Plan. That was the American-led initiative that led to the reconstruction of Europe after World War II. That worked. And the feeling is something similar could work for Afghanistan as well.
CTV's Tom Kennedy in Kabul. Thank you very much. The end of the Taliban regime may well be in sight, as we said, but it is important to remember that defeating the Taliban was not America's primary goal. The U.S. got into this fight to capture Osama bin Laden, the man they believe is ultimately responsible for the September 11th attacks. In Washington tonight, CTV's Yvette Zigley has the latest on the hunt for al-Qaeda's leader. Yvette.
As the Taliban regime in Afghanistan crumbles, 2/3 of the country is now controlled by alliance groups. The question everyone is asking, where is Osama bin Laden? Earlier, it was thought the al-Qaeda leader may have fled the country, but U.S. intelligence indicates he's still there, and some reports suggest the Americans are closer than ever.
I can't confirm in the reports that we're within 30 miles of Mr. bin Laden. I can assure you that it's getting harder for him to hide as more and more territory of Afghanistan comes out from under Taliban control, and there are no neighbors in the region that will be anxious to see him show up as a guest.
Special forces have reportedly reduced their search to 80 square kilometers near the city of Kandahar,